And we are at Valley Hope in Norton. A few months ago, we talked a little bit about what the folks here do if you're dealing with addictions and looking for treatments. And joining us now is Brian Blevins, who is the clinical program director with the Valley Hope. Thanks for joining us, and we wanted to kind of follow up. Got a lot of challenges again in the world because there's some folks have some concern with what's going on and trying to find coping mechanisms. So talk about how you can maybe provide some assistance to folks.
Well, you know, the challenges that COVID has brought to our industry and with people that have problems with substance use disorders and stuff has also brought some pretty unique solutions that we didn't anticipate happening, you know, with the admission of telecare and the opportunities that we have to cover a broader area. You know, in our particular area right here, we do have a lot of farmers that come in, and you know, they work, you know, some pretty incredible hours, and so getting them into a structured type of an environment is much easier with telecare. They can literally sit out on their tractor while they're plowing a field and program that thing in and join into a meeting and get an education about, you know, what's addiction, you know, what do I need to do? How do I protect myself from, you know, the risk factors that are associated with it? And this is really, most of this is about education, you know, and what do you do? How do you get that done?
Is that probably the biggest thing? Is realizing that you do have an addiction to something?
Realizing it, knowing what it looks like, and knowing what to do about it. You know, once you accept the problem, you know, engaging in the solution becomes just a matter of science, cause and effect. You know, we have some incredible numbers out there that we can use scientifically, statistically, to look at outcomes, and this is kind of an outcome-based treatment. So, you know, you do what these other people did, you get what they got, and we can show people exactly what to do, how to protect, again, myself when I've got a disease that's affecting my thinking, my brain, and how I reason things out. And when that's affected, what do I do when I become vulnerable? When my own brain is what's betraying me.
Through this whole process, say over the last year, 18 months, what are some of those things you have learned other than maybe utilizing telemedicine more?
Oh, a lot of things. Well, the last decade has just brought an explosion of understanding about the neurosciences of addiction and what happens in our prefrontal cortex, and you know, what causes addiction. You know, some of the precursors and risk factors like trauma and things that make us vulnerable to a substance use disorder. We've now got also into, you know, how do we protect ourselves from it? You know, and again, that takes structured environments. It takes making the system of recovery underneath you safe, and again, staying connected through a longer term treatment plan. You know, you know, the best success rates that we see out there are among pilots and doctors who use what they call the blueprint studies, and they're a 5-year program. We have a 1-year program where people stay connected and stay in that structured environment so we can navigate through the obstacles that they're gonna eventually run into in trying to achieve recovery, a long-term recovery program.
We're talking with Brian Blevins, who is the clinical program director for Valley Hope. We're going to take a break and talk about how a support staff, not only with family, but also folks here, can help through this situation. We'll be back in just a moment.